Thank you very much. Parliament reconvenes tomorrow with the speech by the president, that is President Uhuru Kenyatta. What do we expect with this?
Number one, the president is coming to address the first sitting of the 12th Parliament in accordance with Article 132, subsection 1A, and within the reading of Standing Order 21, Section 1. So the president is coming here based on the law. So those who are saying the president is doing a parliamentary group meeting, it's because they don't read the law and, they're not intelligent. So the president is coming here within the provisions of the Constitution. And for now, we have only one president, and that is Uhuru Kenyatta. There's nobody else who's a president.
The argument they're having is that he is a transitional president, and at this particular time, he is a candidate for the Jubilee Party.
Yes, that's again where they have got, a team of seasonal lawyers, but they don't advise their party leader, Raila Odinga. President Uhuru Kenyatta is the President of the Republic of Kenya. On the 17th of October, on the night of the election, the president will begin the incumbency, but now he is not there's no incumbency now. Following the nullification of the election of the presidential, President Uhuru Kenyatta left the incumbency period and he became a president. It's like no election took place. So President Uhuru Kenyatta will become an incumbency on the 17th of October after midnight. And I tell, NASA that the Constitution is very simple, the language of the Constitution. But, they don't read. They are members of Parliament. They think a function of a member of Parliament is to speak in rallies and to speak in funerals. When I saw Honorable Memusi talking about a PG, the same Memusi has never uttered a word in this house on behalf of the people of Kajiado Central. So he's busy in rallies. He doesn't come to the house and do the legislative, the oversight, and representation function. So the president, having said, the president said that the president is coming tomorrow in his capacity as the president of the Republic of Kenya within the reading of the Constitution, Article 132, 1A, and of course within our standing orders. We expect the president, as usual, to put forward the legislative agenda of his government. The president, of course, again will give his speech within the framework of Article 10 of the Constitution, national cohesion, national values. But I don't want to speak for the president. Parliament, both houses, have the capacity, and they are ready within the reading of the standing orders to discuss the speech of the president from Wednesday afternoon for 3 or 4 consecutive sittings.
Now, still on that line, the president, yes, as you said, has all the legal capacities to call Parliament under Article 132. But what was so difficult for him to wait until the elections are held? Or is it you as the leader of majority and other leaders who petitioned?
It is the two speakers of the two houses who, within the powers given to them by the Constitution, and to start the legislature to function, because Kenyans are going back to elect a president. Kenyans have elected their representative within Article 1. They have delegated their powers to represent, to legislate to the 290-member constituency in the National Assembly, to the 47 women county leaders, to the 12 nominated members, and of course to their other colleagues in the House. So once the president accepted to grace the opening of, the date was set by the two speakers of the Houses. So, and if you read the Gazette notice, it's not signed by the president. It's signed by Speaker Muturi and Speaker Lusaka. And this is a parliamentary tradition. So why should we, if I ask you, why should we wait for presidential election? I have the mandate of the people of Garissa Township to represent, to legislate, and to oversight.
Now that what do you make of these members of parliament from the NASA side saying that they will not attend such a sitting with regards to what you're saying, that they have been represented by and given mandate from the different constituencies that they represent?
Number one, I want to say that the choice is theirs. They can decide not to come. But Parliament quorum now is less than 50. It's about 50 members. So at any given time, if there are 50 members in the House, whether they're from Jubilee or they're from the other coalition, Parliament will function. So tomorrow the choice is theirs. We, the Jubilee members, who have a super majority, we have 213 members in the National Assembly. We have 38 members in the Senate, who again is the majority. We will duly represent our people in the state opening of Parliament, and tomorrow's function will continue. Whether they stay outside with their leader, that's up to them. Because, you know, the problem I faced last 5 years in running the legislative agenda of our country as a leader of majority was how do I work with my counterparts, the minority leader? You know, when you have your leader outside Parliament, and every decision you want to make in consultation with your leader, it becomes a problem. But each and every member of Parliament, including those from NASA, they have been elected by single constituencies. And they have a function to represent the people of that constituency in terms of oversight, in terms of legislation, in terms of representation. So they have no business, you know, working at the whims of people like Johnson Mudama, who has lost his seat in Machakos, or Kalonzo Musyoka or Raila Odinga, who are not members of Parliament. So it's very, very sad. At least I am not one of them, but I'm sure members of Parliament from both houses who come from the NASA, who have come to represent their people, tomorrow they will attend Parliament. And that's why when we were doing the swearing in, I mean, they said they will not come. But what happened? They were here before Jubilee. So I expect them tomorrow to be there. But I want to tell Honorable Memusi, read the Constitution. Article 132, subsection 1, does not talk about a PG. It talks about the opening of a new parliament, and in this case, the 12th parliament, by none other than the President of the Republic of Kenya, who now happens to be one Uhuru Kenyatta.
Now, moving this conversation forward is that one of the important things that Parliament does once it is opened is the appointment of members to the House Business Committee, which sets in motion some of the issues that will be prioritized in the House. And right now there is no House Business Committee, and you as the leader of government, or what used to be called and now the leader of majority, what do you believe should be prioritized once Parliament opens its doors tomorrow?
The procedure is this. I hope to receive a letter from the office of the Speaker or the clerk this afternoon, myself as the leader of majority, and I don't know to my colleagues, they have no leader of minority up to now, but I'm sure the chair of ODM, John Bandi, will receive a letter asking him to nominate for our case 4 members to the House Business Committee, and for their case maybe 3 members. So tomorrow, once the President addresses the nation or does the state opening of the 12th Parliament, the House is adjourned until Wednesday morning. By Wednesday morning, I will introduce, as the chair also of the Selection Committee of Parliament, I will introduce the members of the House Business Committee for the plenary to adopt. And once Wednesday morning those names are adopted, then the House adjourns until the afternoon, because now the House has formally constituted the House Business Committee chaired by the Speaker. So we intend to start our serious business on Wednesday afternoon. And among the serious business that will start on Wednesday afternoon is the various procedural motions. You know, it's a new parliament. So there will be various procedural motions that will be adopted by the House in order to set the ball rolling on, the time allocated to the leadership, to the chairs, how a petition should be treated, how a motion should be treated, how a government bill should be treated. So the rules of the games. So there will be about 10, 15 procedural motions. After that, again, as per the standing orders, Parliament and both houses will debate the speech of the President for a maximum of 4 consecutive sittings. So until next week, Thursday, that will be the main agenda of the House. Then, as that agenda is being debated for the remaining days of the week and the other week, we will have the single task of constituting the various committees of the House, which are about 23 committees.
Now, there is also a departure from what you had in the 11th Parliament. That is, there was the introduction of some committees and also doing away with some committees. What are these most important committees, including the one on parliamentarians' benefits and all that?
No, we have just what we did at the end tail of last Parliament. We amended the standing orders, and I'll really ask both the old members and the new members to acquaint themselves with the new standing order, which we will introduce in our induction orientation week that will begin on the 18th of this month. But I have republished over 13 bills which were at various stages of the 11th Parliament. Most of them, they were the Senate. The National Assembly has completed, but the Senate did not get the time to complete. So I'm republishing all those bills, and that includes the Gender Principle Bill, the Petroleum Development and Exploration Bill, the Energy Bill, the Fiscal Planning Act, the bill on land rates and land rates index. So there are a number of bills we're going to deal with. Of course, we also have the key business of electing members to the IALA, which did not materialize that. And I'm happy. You know, now the Jubilee coalition or Jubilee party has more members in terms of the ratio. Now we have 6 members, while our colleagues will have 3 members. So we will have more members to send to the East Africa for us to make sure the East African Legislative Assembly also start business. So we have a huge business, but I'm sure at one stage the House will go on recess because members of Parliament also have to go and campaign for their respective presidential candidates. So, but I'm sure in the next 2 weeks we will have key business of the House going on in both houses.
Probably my last question is, immediately after the elections, I had an interview with you. That is when you had realized that you have a supermajority in the House. And one of the things that sounded like the Jubilee was going to do is you sounded vindictive because you had said that you will be having a problem, or one of the things you'll be looking at is the petitions that were brought against the chairperson of the National Lands Commission and the chairperson of that is the Auditor General. Is that still the case?
No. You know, the word vindictive is a tough word in terms of the verb. So I've never been vindictive, but I speak my mind. What I told you is that there are a number of petitions, and the tradition has been in the previous standing orders that petitions used to die with the end of a parliament. Now, the standing orders have been amended at the tail end of last parliament, and all petitions, and there are over 200 petitions that were not concluded last parliament. We assume when the House takes the House is back into serious business, the respective committees that were dealing with the various petitions will have time to pick where the last 11th Parliament left those petitions and continue with it. That's what I said. I have nothing against the Auditor General. I have nothing against the Chairman of the Land Commission, and I might be different from what you are saying. I might even agree that they have no case to answer. But what I said was a general principle that petitions that were before the 11th Parliament have now been saved and are transferred to the 12th Parliament to deal with.
How will Parliament, the 12th Parliament, deal with the independent members, that is, which are now 13? How will they be given an opportunity to serve in these committees?
Very, very good. Out of the 14 members who are independent, 9 of them are aligned to the Jubilee Party. So those 9, I can only speak for those 9. Those 9 will be part and parcel of the Jubilee membership. They will be given slots in various committees. In fact, I'm proposing one of them to be a member of the House Business Committee, just like last Parliament. We had Honorable John Serut, who was an independent member of Parliament, aligned to the Jubilee Party, who was a member of the House Business Committee. So out of the 4 people I'm going to nominate to represent Jubilee in the House Business Committee, one of them will be an independent. Number 2, all independent, the 9th independent members who are aligned to the Jubilee Party, basically because they were elected from our strongholds, will also have the benefit to be treated as like any other Jubilee member. Then there is a special funds committee which we created in last Parliament that will deal with the CDF accounts, that will deal with the political parties account, that will deal with the other institutional commissions accounts. And it says in the standing orders that that committee will be headed, the chair will be an independent. So out of the 9 members who are aligned to the Jubilee members, will also propose him to chair that committee. So those who are aligned to the NASA, I hope they'll also, because in the presidential system, the role of an independent member of Parliament is also protected in the standing orders. So the Speaker is under obligation to make sure that independent members of Parliament are not disadvantaged within the workings of the House.
Well, thank you very much, Meti Vidiathi. That was an interview with Majority Leader Aden Duale, who now gives us that it is under the purview of the President to call for the reopening of Parliament. Well, he has been invited by both speakers of the National Assembly, and he insists that the legislative work has to go on despite the challenge that is now being faced by Kenyans for a repeat